made a lot of good important points there. And it's really important that everybody goes to the county commissioner meeting, especially now, because they need to know that we know what's going on. Mr. Hal Nunn's got a few things he'd like to say.
I guess I'm the catch-all. We steal a little bit of space. First of all, I want to say a little bit about Brownie himself. I've gotten to know him over the last 3 to 5 years, really personally, I think. And to me, everything I've seen from him is a man who really cares. He can be a little tough sometimes. He can be a little harsh, a little rough around the edges. But as an Army guy, I like that. 20 years in the Army, you need somebody every now and then to tighten you up. He does it every day to me, but that's all right. Anyway, he's always helping people. He's a good man. He seems like he's honorable. He's a stickler. And I think that's what we need, is somebody to be a stickler on this stuff for the county. So I think he'd be a very worthy person of your support, be it financial, time, collection of names and emails or whatever. I think you won't be disappointed. You'll really get your money's worth. But I'm going to try to say it really fast because I can go through it quick. But you know, for 2 years I was the Hoke County Republican Party chairman, and you know, there was 3 or 5 or 6 people coming, and we were just kind of stagnant. Well, now we've got some good people in here. We've got a lot of people coming. We got 23 at last week's meeting. We've got people involved, and I'm not saying this is just a Republican thing. I'm just saying that the Republican Party used to be really thriving back in the day when some family members that are part of the Chasins here were involved. It sort of died off. And now we've got an opportunity to chip away at that a little bit and get some conservative thinking folks in there, some people who have some different opinions. Because, hey, different opinions mean your progress. If somebody's always a yes man, yes man, yes man, like in the Army, my commanders, a couple of my commanders would say, I don't like the person that just says and goes along with everything I say. I want somebody who's going to tell me tactfully, respectfully, that you're wrong, Commander, you're wrong, sir, we need to do this. And so we need people like that in office, and we've been running these same crew for a long time now. I'm not going to talk negative about the Democrat Party. I think there's some really good people in here. There's some very good Democrats probably in the room. It don't matter. I said very good. Anyway, all right, real quick. I'm going to go fast because Brownie wants to talk to y'all. Volunteers. Larry Chasin, myself, Janice, Brownie, we need volunteers. We're going to have to run shifts of people on poll day. There's 13 polls in the county. You're going to have people there for 2-3 hours in the afternoon and in the morning, and we're going to have a little card that hands out to give to people and tell them who to vote for. Make a presence known. It'll help a little bit. If you want to learn about the issues, I'm also the guy that did his website. If you hate it, tell me what you can do better about it. I've already heard 3 complaints this week. Everything's rockfish. Brownie's running for county commissioner of rockfish. He's not about Hoke County. The man just donated $500 to West Hoke Elementary School. He just donated $500 more to Children's Developmental Center downtown Rayford. We're going to have a meet and greet in downtown Rayford in July at the Rayford Civic Center. We're going to have a big shindig at someone's house that'll be invitation only. And if you would like to go to that, we can get info to you. Make sure you ask us about it. I mean, it's going to be big, steak dinner and everything. In West Hook. And Q Whipple, I've heard people saying they don't really know Brownie enough out in Q Whipple. In Antioch, the only thing they know out there is Tony Hunt. But we're going to go to those communities and we're going to let people to know them. We're going to have a meet and greet. So we're putting issues on the website. I do the website. If you see something wrong, let me know. My email and stuff is pretty on. Contact info is on there. Talk is cheap. Action costs money. Action costs time. Action costs effort. And we're going to take action between now and November. We're not messing around. There's some organizations in this county that are operating outside of the law. I'm going to let the Hoke County Republican Party handle that. Okay, this is the campaign for Brownie. And I'm talking some groups that are not doing the things by the books. And we'll let them handle that. What they mean about the consent agenda was, they'll say, they'll talk beforehand and tell Mrs. McGugan to put this on consent agenda, this on consent agenda, as A, as B, as C, as D, as E, as F. Then they'll go to the meeting and they'll say, we open the meeting, pray, a salute, and do all that. I make a recommendation we approve A through F. I second that motion. Everybody in favor, A? And we never know what's in the consent agenda.
That's right.
It is violations of sunshine law to do that. It is in violation of the laws of the state of North Carolina. We have spoken with an attorney for the Civitas organization who has confirmed that that is wrong to do. We're hoping that attorney will take the case. Not sure yet. Public input Monday night. Hiring practices in the county. Some more issues are going to go on the website. Hiring practices in the county are not being followed, folks. The county manager was hired illegally. Who else was hired illegally? There's another big one. The clerk. Even though I like her, she seems like a good person. Hey, have you,
Tony Hunt.
Tony Hunt. Tony Hunt was hired illegally.
That's right.
He works for the school system now. Hey, look, when Gwen Magoo, I signed up a long time ago for those alerts when the newsletter, when the agenda and the minutes go out. I never got them. All of a sudden, though, when Gwen Magoo got in there, I started getting them. You ain't get it? You need to re-sign up. You can get an alert on the agenda and the minutes. Read those agendas and minutes, because if you go to the meeting, and we're going to start going, and it brings me to another point here, cameras in the commissioner's rooms and cameras in the DSS meeting. We got a man back there. We have an organization. It's not legit yet. We're working on that. It's going to be a non-profit organization that is going to allow that's going to be able to fund cameras in the DSS meeting, Hoke County Commissioner meeting, Board of Health, and Parks and Recreation, and it's going to be an educational function that children will be able to operate. Maybe Glenn can teach some of these guys how to do editing and photos and stuff like that. They can learn while the public is being aware of the issues. You can sit there and watch the video. Now, I've posted a couple on my YouTube, STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. We want to help them. We're not against education. We're for education. Good grief. Anyway, put the cameras in there, put them on the internet so that single mom that has 3 kids and can't go to the meeting, when she's up there, she can go watch the video and see what they wrote. Because here's what's going to happen, and you can watch this. It'll be proof. I'm gonna share it tonight. I finally got it uploaded. It's when Cliff spoke at the meeting, all he said in that moment, and then you look at the minutes and it says 3 words. Cliff Overton spoke. Nobody knows what he spoke about. All right. Consent of public input, hiring practice. Employee issues. Our own sheriff. Great sheriff of the state of North Carolina, great sheriff for the county. Love him to death. He said back in February on social media, don't worry, Hoke employees, time is coming. You're going to be able to speak up and not get in trouble. Did he not? Who remembers seeing that? I got it. I save everything, folks. It will come back up on social media, and it'll say, even the sheriff knows people in the county who are afraid to speak to people. They're afraid to speak to people. Okay? He'll let you speak to anybody. You can talk to him all day long. Go back. Ethics. Cliff didn't get into ethics because that would take 2 hours. But we have some elected officials in violations of ethics in the state of North Carolina. Enough I'll say about that. Hatch Transportation. The one thing I know about Hatch Transportation is I know this because people tell me stuff. I don't know why they tell me stuff. They're sending me pictures all the time and emails and Facebooks and texts. How you see this? You see that? Hatch Transportation on Brack Boulevard at 7 p.m. at night with 1 person on the bus. And it costs them $1 to ride. Now, I'm not against the transportation. I'm against wasteful spending. And Brownie, he's really against wasteful spending. Watch him around here. He don't trim it. He trims the fat. That's what I say. The events if you can know of some events in your community where you live that he can go to, or we need to have an event at a facility in that area, please let us know. We have got to get the military voters out. No, military voters do not have to vote in the county they live in. They can stay in Florida, Texas, where they don't have any taxes, and they can vote absentee all day long. We are trying to get people in the legislation to make an amendment so they can at least vote where they live so they can do something. But that ain't gonna happen before November. Tim D'Annunzio is gonna run on that. We're gonna get Hudson to run on that. Mr. Hudson's gonna try to get that thing approved. But we need military voters to help us out. But we need the voters that are registered here to go on and help us out. Website. Also, if you know of a financial expert, because it is very hard to read these budgets. First of all, the budget they put on the website, and you click on it and you look at, all it shows is numbers in, number out, total number. It doesn't say expenditures, where's this. It doesn't show, negative stuff here. They might put a negative behind something, but you don't see everything. Time, money, people, lease, cameras, transparency, ethics, ESS hats. That and one more thing that I wanted to mention. If you want to see the LGC letter that came in 2015 and did not get told to us, I have a copy of it here, and I just want to say a couple things about that, and then I'm done, Larry Chase. In February 2015, the county continues to have serious operational problems which are leading to serious financial problems, the details of which are described in the letter attached. Several years to help, we've worked with the county several years to eliminate these deficiencies. The county has taken a step backwards in 2014. This was unexpected given the changes made in personnel, firing of the county manager. The county's governing board must take corrective action immediately and improve your county financial condition. February 2015. March 2016. The county continues to have serious operational problems. Here, details of which are said or not. You go up to him right now, and he says, we're hunky-dory. Miss Renate Dolan, is she here? She goes to a lot of the meetings. She blasted them at the meeting we went to in May, and she said, I'm reading all this in the Fayetteville Observer, and I'm hearing the county's in trouble. What you say? And the Commissioner Leach said right to her, she said, we've got everything under control. We're actually, and then Bobby Wright threw into 18% again. He said it in December, and now he's saying it in May.
You said it here in May.
18%. Our budget is $46 million. Do the math. How much is that? Who's the bright one? 10% of $46 million is how much? $460,000. That ain't $9 million. There's an educator over there. He'll know what to do with it. All right, 46 million. So we were at 7%, and we jumped all the way up to 8. That shows the number Cliff was talking about.
Jumped to 18 or 21.
Right. If we don't do anything, folks, it's our own fault.
Amen.
I don't know why. My wife hates me for doing this stuff. She says it's eating up the time, it's killing you, you're going to have a heart attack, blah, blah, blah. But I've always learned if you don't fight for something, you'll fall for anything. We've got to wake up the people in the county. Larry Chasen?
Hal, may I ask you one thing? On the agenda, it says that you're going to make a statement concerning what the Longleaf Pine Award
Oh, I'm sorry.
what is responsible,
See, I missed
the
that.
represents, and who should receive it. Would you please address that?
Let's see, Billy Graham received the Longleaf Pine Award. Our Honorable Sheriff Peterkin received the Order of the Longleaf Pine. The runner-up, Andy Griffith. My mama's music teacher at Hillsborough High School.
Alan Head, who is the director
Right, I'm
of
gonna
the
mention
North
that.
Carolina.
Alan Head is the director of the North Carolina Bar Association. Frank Crumpler received the Order of the Longleaf Pine. Raz Autry received the Order of the Longleaf Pine. I don't need to tell you Harry Sutherland's past, and yes, there needs to be forgiveness. People need to be forgiven. But that award, in my opinion, has been watered down so much you could grow 18 rose bushes out of it.
But it's not a forgiveness award.
And it's not a forgiveness award. It is an award for honorable service, dedication. Go read the website on what is made to get that award. We have contacted the governor's office officially, and I've contacted them politically. And I got the word today, told Dan and John just a while ago, that my representative told me, Hal, when I told the group that in the political meeting, he said that there were 2 other people knew who Harry Sutherland was and they hit the floor. They didn't understand what happened. He said they mentioned it to the governor's aide, he knew him, and he hit the floor. Now, I'm gonna make a motion that our party's probably gonna make a motion that it's rescinded. They've never rescinded one in the history of the state of North Carolina. However, you know, they do these things in groups, with you 30, 40 people get them across the state. Guess who was one of the people in the group that got the award? The man's name is Alan Head. He's the director of the North, he's not the director, he's the lead counsel, right? Or was he lead counsel back
He
in
was the
04?
director of the NC State Bar
Now or back in 04?
for like 13 years.
So he is the director of the State Bar Association for Attorneys. He was on the council that disbarred Harry Sutherland, the man that is in high standard with this state. Unbelievable.
Wait,
Real quick, there's one thing we've got to tell you. We have some major problems in this county with the Department of Social Services. Right now, I know of 2 people, checks have been made to people that should not have them. Funds of over $50,000 sent back, cannot track it. Person has over, I think this is correct, $80,000 in an account where they will not send it back because they keep misappropriating monies.
Who's the highest paid person in the county?
If, I don't know if anybody knows who the highest paid person in this county is.
Yeah.
Huh? The name is Jonathan Charleston. He is a Department of Social Services attorney. Last year, $311,000. He was over $84,000. They had a meeting at the Department of Social Services in Bell Slip. Mr. Charleston explained how to circumvent the thing. Mr. Charleston is also the one that gave the award to Harry Sutherland.
He also donated $1,000 to Harry Sutherland's campaign account.
WMFA was having a radio thing. Anyway, Del Sweat presented a proposed amendment to the contract with Charleston, with Jonathan Charleston. It's my understanding they have no clue what's going on, a bunch of other things. But Ms. Sweat got onto him for not billing correctly. It was like 4, 5, 6 months before they get a bill.
And they're supposed to bill about an hour.
Well, because of federal contracts and other things, she told him about that, but nobody seems, he did say, I deal with the commissioners, we'll fit, and basically we'll fix it for them. They just voted.
There it is in the minutes, if you want to see it.
March 21st, 2016, that is this year, right?
Yep.
The amendment to the budget will allow remaining balance of the contract for fiscal year 15-16.
Last year.
Now, it's my understanding that you can't have a budget, that appropriations are not in the budget, and then go back and borrow the money from yourself and put it in this budget to pay this guy.
How much?
Monthly installment,
Monthly installment?
$16,979.37. The county received monthly invoice. I have the meeting and the voice transaction where this happened, audio, and anyway, I thought, plus they also made another adjustment of $13,124 for approval by the board that will cover additional legal costs. One more thing about this man, and I don't understand it, maybe some of you can tell me. He just went before the board. He's handling our bonds. Why is he handling our school bonds?
Talking to the commissioner about bonds.
He's talking about reissuance of bonds. He also, not far behind, he was also before the board having property rezoned for the builders. And then it just keeps getting worse. Well, this is just something that has been, I've overheard several times. If you want something done in the county, take your bag of cash to the big man. So this keeps on going and going and going and going and going. And the DSS is where they supposedly found $3 million. Whoa. People involved in DSS worry about that because they don't have pencils and pens and just all kinds of stuff. Plus, they just voted to put some new people on. I'm going to shut up because thank you.